Mohamed Light is the Egyptian pharaoh, the monarch of the new era. Having won the Clash Royale League in 2022 and 2024, he is indisputably the greatest Clash Royale player of all time. Today we're going to be watching his games from his #1 ladder finish last season to learn directly from the GOAT and examine just what it is that sets him apart from the rest. Enjoy. Today we have the pleasure of spectating Mohamed Light, the greatest Clash Royale player of all time, and he is currently playing his patented minor control archetype in top 4 in the entire world during the end season ladder. So final day of the season, everyone battling it out for glory. Mo obviously going for his next #1 in the world ladder finish. Might be his 10th, 15th #1 finish, I'm not even sure. He goes for a great tornado on that wizard, not allowing it to splash everything and instead actually taking it out early, allowing for the Valentine to stay alive and the Doctor to get on the tower. But now he has a huge incoming counter push by Simo with a P.E.K.K.A, Battle Ram, and Simo's definitely going to plop another troop at the bridge as soon as he hits the elixir for it. Defensive miner by Mo, kiting everything, and you can see that the bandit at the bridge comes out, but perfectly timed skeletons for both towers to target the bandit, and that is insane. So everything perfectly defended. That Ram was perfectly logged to barely not hit the cannon. Everything just coming together for Mohamed, and he already has a 2,000 damage lead in the first minute of this match. That's just average Mohamed Light gameplay. We are going to be in for a treat. So he's playing this minor magic archer deck with the Evo Ice Spirit, Evo Cannon, and what I think really separates Mo from everyone else is his proficiency with minor control, because you guys all know minor control. It's an archetype that relies on chip damage. You go in, you get tower damage, you defend the counter push for cheap elixir trades, and just stay on top the whole match. Well, Mohamed Light's going to be doing that better than anyone else because he just has a different kind of level with this game and with this archetype in general. As you can see, he takes a ram charge to the tower basically, but still defended very well, gets a Valentine hit on the opposing tower. Marcher comes down, and he's going to be able to kite this bandit all the way over, perfectly timed and spaced so it doesn't dash. Everything is calculated, as you guys can see. Did not dash onto the Marcher from the Ice Spirit, and just everything is controlled. Now we have another counter push with this Magic Archer Miner, the NATO lining up the Magic Archer onto the tower. That is dozens of hundreds of damage pouring in, and that tower is all the way down to 545, so tower's absolutely crumbling, and all Simo can do is reset with a P.E.K.K.A in the back. By the way, this looks like Mohamed Light's just destroying this guy. This is one of the best P.E.K.K.A players in the entire world, and Mohamed Light's making it look like an absolute walk in the park. So another defensive miner. You know, sometimes people say if you have to miner on defense, you know, it's a bad sign, but Mohamed Light, everything controlled, obviously has a reason for doing so. Now we see a very nice Valentine ability, and he's going to strategically allow that bandit plus ghost to connect onto the tower to conserve elixir for this next push. You can see that sometimes use tower damage as a resource because you don't want to overcommit, and instead you're just going to be able to defend the future push instead of worrying about every little bit of damage and over defending. So now Valentine bridge counter push. This is definitely game. Monster's going to be tanking for that miner. Good game comes up from Mohamed, spamming good game. In fact, I'm not sure what's up with that, but Simo can only hog think, and that is a beautiful first win. Alright, so Mohamed currently #2 in the entire world, going for his game for #1 on ladder as he's up against Raan, who is one of the greatest Lava Hound players of all time, definitely top 3 in the world. Not only in ranking right now, but also quite literally on ladder. And Mohamed Light up about 2,000 damage in this match, but the problem is Raan goes for the lava in the back, and Mo is down about 4 or 5 elixirs. So you all know how menacing it is to defend a lava loon push, let alone a level 16 Lava Hound, let alone when you're down 5 elixirs. Let's see exactly how Mo is going to control this game with honestly not much air defense. He only has the Magic Archer and the Valentine Doctor. That is truly not a lot. But you can see the Evo Ice is perfectly lined up. A new cannon comes down. I think I know what's about to happen. He's probably going to go for a really nice tornado to activate the King Tower. Yes, he is. And that's actually quite literally, I want to say 0 damage taken from that push somehow. But the thing is, Raan has now kind of molded Mo's cycle to have a Valentine used on that previous defense, which means he's not going to have a Valentine in the left lane. Now you can only play one champion down at any moment. So Evo Cannon is going to hit both the Eye Drag and the Lava Hound, but again, level 16 lava. Marcher to match that balloon, but he just doesn't really have much DPS, and the Valentine Doctor dies just now. So how is Mo going to control this? New Marcher comes down, but another loon in the right with that Skelly drags pair as well. Like, this is just so much in both lanes. A nice tornado, though. Mo is currently on 1 elixir, guys. I think he's back to the cannon, right? He has to be. Or is he back to a Stein? No. Goes for the Ice Spirit. Log cycle back to the cannon. He's now back to the cannon. And I think we might see a tornado on the Loon last second. Yes, we will. So perfectly defended somehow, some way. But now he is still down like 5, 6 elixir even. So he probably has to ignore most of that Valkyrie. Maybe just log it or actually just ignore it in its entirety. Yes, he will. Again, tower damage is a resource. A nice Stein plus Marcher separated so that Raan cannot go for arrows on both, as you can see. And the Goblinstein monster is just going to be kiting that eye drag for days. Meanwhile, the Doctor is going to town on the Lava Hunt with that ability, kind of clearing it out. But you can see that Raan has come back. 2,000 damage just evaporated into thin air for Mo. All that damage lead went to nothing. Now he goes for a very nice miner. With the guards out of cycle, Raan does not want to go for the Valk on the miners, so goes for the Skelly Drags instead. With that Goblinstein, Doctor also getting some value in the right. But, I mean, this is just so scary for Mo. That's like 2 miners in 10 seconds, by the way. That's the sheer power of the 3-card cycle. You just play plays that don't look real. Evo Can is going to nuke all of those, but the pups are still going strong. And you can see the power of the Chef. Lava Pups get 3 shot, and another miner coming down, tanked for by the Goblinstein monster. This is so close in both sides. This is crazy, but a nice tornado log. Evo Zap for Raan. Evo Ice will hold it, but another Nado, another log for Mo, and somehow, someway, he controlled the pace of the match to win against Raan. A full-on Lava Loon push with only 2 soft air counters. That's absolutely absurd, and that is going to put Mohamed at #1 in the entire world during the season end weekend. Oh my goodness, you are in for an absolute treat because we have Mohamed's final game to secure the #1 finish. He was already #1, but other people could also play and get #1 themselves. So Mo, wanting it all, is going for yet another game, and he is matched up against SK Morton, one of the greatest players of all time as well, someone with a ton of accolades to his name, and this is genuinely season end greatness. You cannot get better content than this, guys. So if you enjoy this type of stuff, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel because this is just insane and you will not see this in many other places. So Morton also playing Miner Control, but looks like he's playing Miner Poison. I think Morton's last 2 cards might be Goblinstein and Poison, as he most likely, yep, Goblinstein is very strong. He most likely is going to have that champion. Mo goes for the early tornado on that Stein, and he's going to get a lot of Marcher damage, but the problem is that Doctor and Monster are both still staying alive, but actually, Mo controls that pretty well, gets yet another piercing shot onto the tower. That is crazy. And just like that, a casual 600 damage lead for Mohamed Light. A nice cannon will take out this miner, and also tank for the Spear Goblins long enough. Ice Spirit's going to make sure, and a nice trait of the Evo Ice Spirit, since it got reworked, it only freezes twice now, but it has bonus damage, so very useful. What is that timing, dude? Log to take only 1 hit from a pair of Evo Wallbreakers. I did not know that before. I know there's some weird log interactions, like if you go maybe Spirit plus log, I think it'll fully kill the Evo Breakers, but like he just logged. I don't know how that worked, but it's Mohamed Light, of course it worked. As you guys can see, it's 4:50 p.m. right now, so quite literally, after this game ends, because it's probably going to take about 5 minutes, there will not be enough time for another match, so if Mohamed Light wins, that's just going to be game, and if he loses, then he might lose the #1 spot, so you genuinely could not ask for a better situation. Now, the good thing about this for Mo, really nice log by Morton, pre-log. You can see Mo knew he was going to go for the pre-log was Morton, so he didn't go for the skeletons right away, but Morton was still very smart and kind of forced a Nado out late by Mo. So you can see that he's forcing out Mo's awkward cycles with his tornadoes, like he's forcing Mo to use his cards in a way he doesn't want to use them. He obviously wants King Tower activation, but it's already been about 2.5 minutes into this match, and Mo still doesn't have the king up, which I would say is like one of the biggest differences in this matchup between Mo and Morton. I mean, Morton has the big spell, the poison. Mo doesn't have a big spell, but Mo does have the tornado, which means he can activate the king. He has a bit more control. He also has the magic archer, which kind of acts as another win condition. In the meantime, that Goblinstein Doctor is tanking, and Mo is just getting a ton of damage pouring in, but Morton has this huge push with the Evo Bats Miner, but Mo ignores it, just goes for a Nado on all of it, and then gets yet another Marcher at the bridge. So you can see Mo's just kind of lightly defending and focusing more on offense in this matchup, and that might be the crucial key, because Morton hasn't been able to go for a single poison in this entire game. Mohamed Light just forcing him to defend all game, and just like that, look at that perfect counter. positive trade on defense again. Mo's just defending perfectly, and again, his emphasis has been on offense this entire match. Now he's obviously going to focus up on defense, considering he has an insane damage lead, but I feel like this is probably just about wrapped up, and I think the biggest difference in the way these two played the match, Morton was probably a bit too aggressive and didn't worry about defense. I think Mo was very perfectly aggressive, but he also did worry about defense at the same time, and that's a nice NATO. That's going to be so much damage with that miner, and Mo goes for a second miner on the tower. That is not going to get picked up by Morton, and that's going to be good game called out. Honestly, not even a close match. Absolute domination by Mohamed Light, and that is going to be the game of the season. Season is about to end. 3-8-7-4 medals. As you can see, only 7 minutes left in the season, so this is just about wrapped up because I don't think anyone else can play any more games to catch up to Mohamed. Yes, the second place is 3-8-4-4, so that's going to cement Mohamed's #1 in the entire world ladder finish. Absolutely insane, and that's just Mohamed Light doing Mohamed Light things. You know, he's finished #1 countless times before, so this is quite literally light work for the GOAT. Not only did Mohamed Light just finish #1 in the world last season, but the season before that, he also finished #3 in the world, and I was able to record his gameplay because I always enjoy learning from players better than me. So let's continue the showcase and hop into his games from that latter season. Alright, there is no way we have Mohamed Light versus Mugi right now, one of the greatest rivalries in Clash Royale storylines. If you guys did not know, Mohamed Light is a 2-time Clash Royale League world champion, having won both this recent year 2024 and also 2022. Mugi, his opponent in this match, won in the years between that, 2023 and 2021, having directly defeated Mohamed Light in one of them, at least I believe it was 2023, where you guys might remember he won with the balloon freeze and all of that stuff. So this is going to be absolutely crazy because this match is genuinely a battle of two GOATs. So Mohamed Light playing his patented miner control with the Magic Archer, and Mugi playing with P.E.K.K.A. Goblin Giant, one of the most broken decks in the game right now, and unfortunately just one that has been dominating. But Mo has that Evo Ice to defend everything, and just like that, a really nice defense comes down by Mo. So this game is going to come down to perfect defense ultimately. I think Mo is going to be able to break through with some nice Magic Archer lineups eventually, but Miner's not much of a win condition for him in this match, just because Mugi has the guards, he has the bomber, he has so much cheap defense for that miner. So Mo is going to have to lean heavily on his bomb tower and his Magic Archer and even the Goblin Stein to defend these insane Evo P.E.K.K.A. Evo Goblin Giant pushes. Level 16, by the way. So let's see just how this is going to go down. Magic Archer comes out and a Goblin Giant in the back. Both Evos level 16 by Mugi, as you can see. Mo goes for that high bomb tower, and something that I will always respect about Mo is that he doesn't really play the broken decks in the game. Like, he does, you know, he's playing the Goblin Stein right now, one of the most broken cards, but he also does just play miner control a lot of the time. He plays one of the most respected archetypes, his favorite one as well. He doesn't switch to, you know, P.E.K.K.A. Goblin Giant, or what I and a lot of others would personally consider to be low skill decks. Look at that beautiful tornado. My goodness, what was that tornado? To pull the troops into the Evo Skeleton pattern, that is such a creative play. And just like that, he basically takes out the entire push on the left. That's actually crazy. I don't know how he did that, but that was just absurd. And so just like that, he has a surviving Magic Archer that might get onto the tower. No, forced out a P.E.K.K.A. and not a single offensive miner coming down. Defensive miner in the back. Beautiful Evo Ice Spirit to freeze both the P.E.K.K.A. and the Goblin Giant with another bomb tower, another pair of Evo Skeletons to boot. And just like that, another Magic Archer. He has 2 marchers on the board right now. He has a Goblin Stein Doctor staying alive. He has those piercing lineups, 0 damage taken. This is just flawless defense, and this is honestly why Mo is the GOAT, because you'll be hard-pressed to find him making any mistakes. We're going to see a NATO. Yeah, I had a feeling. We're going to see a really nice NATO because that Goblin Stein Doctor is tanking for the Marcher. Really beautiful skeletons. How much was that? That was like 1,500 damage off of 1 Marcher right there. But now the question is, can he defend this Evo Goblin Giant, Evo P.E.K.K.A. push? Miner on defense in the right. Goblin Stein in the left, NATO to activate the King with this Goblin Stein ability, melting the Bomber, P.E.K.K.A. and Fisherman. Perfect offense, perfect defense. That is actually crazy. He has the King Tower activated now. He has that beautiful damage lead, and he's not even rushing it. You can see that he can go for a Marcher on this P.E.K.K.A., but he'd rather just chill. Most likely going to see a Marcher down low or in the back instead, because all he's doing is really just chilling and vibing and taking this beautiful defense. Yep, he's just going to get the Evo Ice on the left, the Evo Skellies on the right, And no questions asked, that's easily defended by Mohamed again. We see a new Magic Archer. We see a beautiful Tornado predicting that Goblin-style ability in the right so that it's not going to line up onto the tower. Mugi going all in with Evo Goblin Giant arrows at the bridge, and he simply cannot break through this iron wall of defense by Mo, and that is just about going to be game. I mean, Mugi's leaking elixir. Mugi has literally given up. Have you ever seen someone make a player of Mugi's caliber give up? Well, Mohamed Light was just able to do that with a beautiful win of perfect defense the entire match through. Alright, we got Mohamed Light versus Signal here. Signal, honestly one of the best Lava Hound players, very underrated player. One that still plays the Void, believe it or not. You know, Void has not really been seen in the meta ever since its nerf, but Signal still plays this card, and so Void's going to take out that Goblin-style Doctor, while the Idrag just kind of melts the monster. A beautiful Marcher lined up by Mo with some great protection of said Marcher. Might even see a NATO here, yes we will, to line everything up perfectly. So Signal might recognize Mo's cycle is a bit bad. He could go Balloon opposite if he wants, but knowing Mohamed, he's probably going to cycle back very easily. Signal is also playing with the Barbarians, by the way. Goes for Prediction Miner. I'm not sure what that was on. Probably, I want to say a Bomber. I believe Signal does play Bomber in this deck, but Signal just goes for the easy barbs to kill everything. Either he just wanted to go barbs in the first place, or he most likely knew that Mo was going to predict the Bomber, and you know, these players, this is top ladder, this is genuinely the top of ladder, so these players are always multiple steps ahead of each other. It's nothing new. And so, yeah, we're going to see another Lava Hound in the back reset by Signal. I will say I do respect Signal, you know, he's playing Void. I feel like it was very low skill in its prime, but now it is definitely a card that no one plays anymore. Plus, he's playing Evo Barbs, you know, one of the more low-tier Evos, I would say. Plus, he's not even playing with a Chef Tower, which everyone is abusing right now with Beatdown. So, you know, I can respect it. Another Void comes down, but that, oh my god, that Evo Skeleton, yo! Bomber forced out on defense. That was so smart by Mo. And so arrows will come down and Snowball to kill the Magic Archer. But Evo Ice is going to save Mo in his biggest time of need. Look at that Evo Ice hitting every single Lava Pup. How often do you guys see? How satisfying was that defense? My goodness. How often do you guys see an Evo Ice Spirit hit every single Lava Hound pup? Like, that timing, I'm honestly going to say that was probably calculated by Mohamed, because it most likely was. Like, that's just absurd. But Lava Hound in the back by Signal. Mo's just going to go for the Stein low, and then the Marcher high to actually try and get onto the tower, which he will. He's going to protect the Marcher from that Void and get quite a few hits onto the tower. That's actually only like 2 hits on the tower, but he's going to kill the entire Inferno Dragon, so honestly, pretty worth it, I would say. In the meantime, with that 3-card cycle being afforded to him by that Goblin-style Doctor, he's going to have another Marcher come down, plus minor Evo Skelly's pressure, so, you know, this deck does not have the best pressure other than Magic Archer. I feel like Minor by itself is just not a good pressure card, but Mo obviously finding creative ways to pressure. Number 1, we had minor Evo Skelly's, now we have minor Evo Ice Spirit, which the Evo Ice does get onto the tower. That's going to be, what, like 700 damage, if not more? So impressive, honestly. He just finds these ways. And honestly, this feels like, you know, he's playing Bomb Towers. He doesn't even have exactly the best defense against, like, these Lava Hound decks. But at the same time, he's still able to control everything. And speaking of control, King Tower activation in the left off that Evo Bomber. Even though he logged it, Mo is just a master of timing, and just like that, going to be beautifully controlled. To get that King up, going to be very crucial. Goblin-style ability will get onto the Lava Pups, the Idrag, and the tower. In the meantime, Bomb Tower coming out with that NATO into the Goblin-style Doctor, but hold up, that Loon is still going strong in the left, but it had a Vendetta. It was like, nah, I don't care if I got NATO'd. I'm going to the left side tower, but the help of the King Tower just so crucial there. And a very nice NATO plus a new Marcher to clean everything up. And it feels like, even though this, on paper, doesn't look that bad for Signal, you know, he has Void to take out the Marcher or the Goblin-style Doctor. He has triple spells to help with any kind of blocking Mo does. And Mo also has a Bomb Tower, not a Tesla or an Inferno Tower. Even though all of this is true, Mohamed Light's control is just immaculate, and it feels like Signal is just playing an uphill battle where he's never going to break through, because that's honestly what's happening. He's not breaking through. And Mo, with this pressure, you can see the Goblin-style Monster plus Evo Skelly's in the right, Minor plus Marcher in the left. That's just crazy. We have 2 Marchers on the board. I feel like at any given moment, Mo has like 2 Marchers, or 1 Marcher, 1 Stein. There he has a 3rd Marcher in the span of, what, like 20 seconds. Nice NATO in the right. and the king is going to help out against those lava pups. In the meantime, a new lava hound is about to pop in the left, another lava in the right, but this Goblin ability is going to nuke everything. New Marcher comes down, lined up perfectly on the lava hound plus balloon. We see a new bomb tower, and that Goblin doctor is still going strong. Like, I just feel like no matter what Signal did, he just could not break through. Impenetrable defense by Mo, and even though he is going to get very close to connecting at the end, Mohamed Light also sneaks a Marcher very casually in the end as well, and that's just going to be a perfect game of control. Signal can't do anything but laugh because Mo was just unbeatable in that match. Just absolutely crazy defense and offense from the GOAT. We got a game, Mohamed Light versus Hunter. If you follow me, chances are you know who Hunter is. He's one of the Expo GOATs for sure. The only person single-handedly keeping Icebo alive on top ladder, as that is what he's going to be playing right here. So this matchup between the two seems interesting on paper. I mean, Mo not having any big tank or a big spell should mean that Hunter can control the pace of the match, use his rocket to spell cycle Mohamed out. But I think it's going to be a bit more complicated than that, because Mo has two cards that will serve as X factors in this match. Number one, the Goblin Sign, which comes down right here, basically a free counter to any Expo, and generally the most overpowered card in the entire game right now, so it's not going to be that simple for Hunter to defend and break through either, with the Goblin Sign being a thing. Furthermore, Mo also has the Magic Archer, which is also going to pose a big threat for Hunter because he's playing the Rocket, not a Fireball, so he doesn't really have an easy way to take it out. I mean, Log NATO is going to do the trick, but it's a negative trade, so it's going to mess up his cycle, so it's really a lot easier said than done. Plus, Mo does have the Miner, which is not a good win condition against, Tornado, plus cheap cycle with Knight and Skeletons on Hunter's end, but he also has the Magic Archer, which is going to serve as a secondary win condition, which just means he can have a pretty decent time. As you can see right here, also just really good value. Marcher plus Ice Spirit, that's a 4 for 4, essentially taking out that Tesla plus posing an offensive threat too. We'll see the Miner plus Marcher push here, and Hunter is just kind of forced to over defend, and he still takes 2 piercing Magic Archer shots on the tower with the Evo Knight forced out, which, that's going to be one of his best things to use against Mohamed Light, with Mo not having any great tanks for the Expo. He's going to have to lean on his Goblinstein monster especially, as well as his bomb tower to defend these Expos. Debo comes down by Hunter, predicting, or just not predicting, even just abusing the fact that Mo doesn't have a big spell, and the first rocket of the match by Hunter, but you can see it really just feels uphill for him. It does not feel that good for Hunter at all. It actually feels like Mo has the entire pace of the match on lock, solely because, rocket damage is not going to do the trick. Even though it's a good option, good spell cycle, it's not enough. And here Marcher, beautiful lineup on that Tesla plus Expo, plus the Miner Log. Like, it's just not that hard if you're good at the game to take an Expo out. I might be biased, I'm an Expo player, but it really just isn't. There's so many creative things you can do. Expo Tesla is very strong in this matchup to counter the bomb tower, but then you have that Marcher placement, and of course Mo's going to know every single Marcher placement. You can see Hunter kind of stuttered there for a bit, didn't play anything, leaked a bit of Elixir. Mo just predicted that Expo with the bomb tower, and Hunter was forced to turn around and do something else, go Expo in the middle instead. Furthermore, Mo going for yet another prediction with that Marcher. You can see it was down a few seconds before the Expo was ever down, and that's going to take out the entire Expo with great tanking by Mo, and he just has an even higher lead now. Hunter went for 1 rocket on the tower. That's certainly not enough. Bomb tower's going to do a great job. Here the Evo Knight's going to tank, but Mo just has this Goblinstein as well. Hunter even goes for the Tornado on offense, which means that he's really committing everything to this Expo push. He has the Expo, he has the offensive NATO, the Evo Knight, the Ice Wizard. It is not enough. This is just impossible to break through for Hunter. So, against a bad player, this would not be that hard to break through, especially someone of Hunter's caliber. But against Mohamed Light, it's a different story. He's just not breaking through, and that fast cycle with the Ice Spirit Skeleton simply means that Mo is going to be getting around to his Goblinstein anytime he needs it. Here, a nice Miner supplementing this push with that NATO coming down, which is going to mean Mo's in the damage lead in both sides now. Hunter has another insane push, Evo, Tesla, Knight, double Ice Wizards, but it's just not enough. Low bomb tower is going to stall out. Goblinstein comes down last minute. We'll probably see a Magic Archer on the Expo just about now, and it's going to take everything out. Like, there's just nothing Hunter can do, and it does hurt me to watch. Really beautiful miner as well, and Mo's just controlling the Knight. You can see he's forcing the Knight to stay over there so that the bomb tower will splash. In the meantime, Galvanstein Doctor plus Marcher on tower in the right, and Hunter is leaking Elixir. The poor dude just has nothing he can do. Unfortunately, that's just going to be game because Evo Skelly's devoured the tower, and he could never break through against Mo. And now we have another match from Mohamed against this Japanese player. Obviously, I don't know who he is, but this is literally like, you know, top 10 in the world gameplay, so it's someone good. This is one of the best decks in the game right now, this Bridge Spam deck, Evo Ram, Cannon Cart, and he has a Galvanstein there too. So we're going to see exactly how Mo is going to defend this crazy pressure. You know, the opponent has a Bandit, and Mo does not have a Knight or a Valkyrie, so he doesn't have an easy way of tanking for these big pushes that are about to come down. As you can see here, Bandit comes there, Cannon Cart's also causing a lot of pressure, and a defensive miner forced out by Mohamed. What I do love to see though is how he ignored that ghost, getting a free King Tower activation off of that, and that's going to be very crucial for the rest of the match, because having that King up in the first few minutes of the game is just going to compound and cause a great advantage in Mohamed Light's way. So the opponent only has arrows as his spell, I'm pretty sure, which means something Mohamed Light can lean on in this match is going to be the fact that his Marcher is unkillable. You know, arrows does not kill a Magic Archer, simple as that. So the Marcher played at the back is just going to survive forever, and that's just going to result in really easy defenses with good protection of said Magic Archers. What I do worry about, though, is again that Bandit and maybe even the Cannon Cart too, where it's just going to be so difficult for Mo, even the Ghost, honestly, so difficult for Mo to defend against all of this stuff. I feel like the activated King is going to be a huge factor. You probably will see a bunch of defensive miners as well. Look at that Ghost staying invisible, basically killed before it even came visible because of Mo's great control with the bomb tower. An underrated skill and tactic where he's using that splash to hit the Ghost even though it's invisible. You know, just every bit of micro detail by Mo coming down perfect in these instances. A Stein's going to come down. This is a huge push in the right, possibly back to new bomb tower, or just a last minute NATO actually. And the Marcher splash, the piercing arrows are so strong. Might see a log as well. No, we don't need the log here. Mo's actually staying, just kind of chilling up on Elixir right now with a Magic Archer still alive. The opponent also has a lot of good pressure, you know, again, Cannon Cart, Bandit, Ghost, and Mo not having a Knight or a Valk, just reiterating that point, should mean it's pretty tough for him to defend against this onslaught of pressure, but it's really not that difficult for Mohamed. Mainly utilizing his bomb tower super effectively, his Galvanstein at all the right moments. He's not really cycling his Galvanstein haphazardly. He's playing it at the perfect prime moments, and that's just how he's getting value out of it. And he's also playing so patient. You can barely see any offensive miners the whole match. We're going into the last minute of the game, triple Elixir, with barely any offensive miners by Mo, but instead he's just kind of taking his time, chilling. Again, a defensive miner, no pressure, no rush whatsoever. Perfect gameplay for 5 minutes straight. That is how I saw Lucas, one of the best players in the world as well, describe this deck, and that's exactly what Mo's been doing. Nice high bomb tower. That's another placement you guys should know. It means that when the bomb tower dies, the death bomb will attack all the troops that's within that radius. Everything melts in the left, and so now Mo can go for his offensive miner with a counter-pushing Stein Doctor as well as a Marcher. Plus the Marcher connects in the right, plus a third Marcher in the last like 10-15 seconds. It's going to come down low as well. And you can see that Mo's kind of taking control of this match. It does not look like much, it's only a few hundred HP, but I can guarantee Mo has everything perfectly on lock, no intention to ever let anything break through again, and it's just going to be pretty much wrapped up, perfect control the entire way through, last minute miner, NATO log on tower, and the opponent really didn't stand a chance the whole game. It was just perfect patience by Mohamed the whole time. There really wasn't much the opponent could do to break through, and I feel like that's just how you describe all of Mohamed Light's games. It's just perfect defense, perfect control, perfect offense, and just perfection. This is why he's the greatest of all time.